guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my foundation routine. I said a few days ago I was going to film this, but I didn't want to. So now I'm filming it today. So yeah, let's get into it. First thing I use is a primer, and my favorite primer to use is the Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer, and it looks like this. Another alternative is the NYX Shine Killer. It's very similar and it's more affordable. So yeah, I'm just going to take that and apply it all over my face. And I just like take a big, a generous amount to really get in there. And just rub that everywhere. Now, depending on your skin type, will depend what kind of primer you want to use. You know, if you have more dry skin, you might want to use a more luminous primer. And if you have oily skin, obviously use a matte primer. So, yeah. After that, I like going in with my foundation. And my current favorite foundation is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Foundation. I've mentioned this like a million times in my last couple of videos. I really like it. It's a great foundation. I'm just going to take a big glob of that. And what I like to do is I like to kind of like dab it all over my face. And then after I go in with my brush and just blend it all out. And now I look like a crazy person. So yeah, I'm just going to take any flat top brush. This is an angled flat top brush. And you can just blend that out. Yeah, man. Give me a napkin. It's my sister. Thank you. Okay, after you blend in your foundation really well, I don't really blend it. I more like press it in really nicely. Sorry for not mentioning that before. I press it in and then like sort of go around and like swipe it, but I don't like go in circles because that just like messes it up and then it's not gonna look as nice in my opinion. Next, I like to go in with my Instant Age Rewind. This is by Maybelline, and it looks like this. And I use this to highlight underneath my eyes. And then I go in with my Maybelline Fit Me and highlight the rest of my face. So I'll just show you guys how I do that. So, oh, I also apply some on my eyelids because it's a really good way to prime for eyeshadow, and also it covers a lot of, if you have like veins and redness on your eyelids, it's perfect for before you apply your eyeshadow. So I'm just going to go ahead and blend that out with my foundation brush. Alright, like I said, next I like to go in with my Maybelline Fit Me concealer and use that to highlight. I don't really use this under my eyes because, I don't know, I just don't. So, yeah, I'll show you how I do that. Down the bridge of my nose. Now what we're doing with this is we're evening out the under eye highlight. You don't want to have only highlight underneath your eyes because then it's not going to look as natural. So you want to like even it out. So I just do this fun little, you know, designs on my face with the concealer, and then I'm going to go ahead and blend it out with the same foundation brush. Now what this does is that it not only highlights and brings light into the face, but it's going to even out the brightness that's under the eyes. If you only brighten underneath your eyes, it's gonna be very noticeable that you have a brighter under eye area. So whenever you brighten a certain area, like let's say underneath your eyes, you want to balance it out. So you know, you can do the bridge of the nose, your forehead, your chin, and I also applied this one a little bit to mix it in with my under eye up here because I feel like it's more like radiant, and it's a bit more yellow too, so it looks nicer like mixed together. So that's what I do. Alright, so after I go in with my concealer and highlight my face, I next like to set everything with a powder. Now the powder that I use is my L'Oreal True Match in the shade W4. This shade is actually too light for my overall skin tone, but in the True Match, this one's the one that matches me the best because it has the right undertone. The W5 is too pink, W6 is too dark for me, so I like to use this one because anyways I go in with bronzer and everything, so it kind of evens it out. And it's perfect because it doesn't like muddy my under eye color, because I don't really want to go out and buy two different powders, one for my under eye, one for my face. So I just like to use this one because it's light enough that it doesn't make my under eye look dark, but it also powders my face pretty well, I think. So that's what I do. And yeah, I just take a kabuki brush and I put it in there, tap off any excess, and then I just powder my face. So I'm just gonna do that. Alright, now that I have set all of my face, I like to go in with bronzer. Kind of my favorite part. I love to be bronzed all the time. So I like to use my, I should probably show you what I'm using, my Rimmel London Natural Bronzer in the shade 025 Sun Glow. And I mentioned this in my monthly favorites, I believe, but it just looks like this. And I like using this before I contour. Lately I've been using it a lot before going in with my contour because it gives a nice transition shade and it makes me look nice and glowy and not just pure, like, you know, dark. You know what I mean? So I'm just going to go ahead and bronze using this powder, but I'm going to put it wherever I normally contour. So I'll just show you. I love getting in there underneath the jaw because it really helps carve out the jawline. I also put a little bit underneath my lip because it makes your lip look a lot powdered. What? It makes your lips look more pouty. So you want to put a little bit of the darkness underneath, and then you go in with the light with your powder highlight on top, and it makes your lips look more full. So I'm just going to do that. I also go down the sides of my nose because my nose tends to like disappear with foundation. Now I went, as you can see, I went over basically, like, not my whole face, but I went and applied the bronzer everywhere because you want to distribute that color. You don't just want to go and contour and then that's it, you're done with the contour. You want to bronze up the rest of the face because it kind of balances it out, balances out the bronzer. So you want to do this because it looks more natural and it looks more like you're naturally tan or glowy or whatever the case may be. You always want to balance everything out. You don't just want to go and let's say I just contoured. It's going to look weird. So if I put bronzer everywhere else, on the high points of my face, I mean on you know, on the top of my forehead, you know, underneath my jaw and all that, and on my nose, it's going to balance everything out and it's going to look very natural. So you're going to want to do that. Next, I go in with my contour color, and the one that I've been using lately is from e.l.f. and it's the e.l.f. blush and bronzing powder in the shade Fiji, and I just use the bronzer that comes with it. Now this bronzer is matte, as is the blush, so if you want to go ahead and use that blush you can, but I just like to use the bronzer, and I use this to contour, and it's nice because it's matte, so it looks more natural than some of their other shades. I really like the other one, the original one, but it has a little bit of a sheen. Not that noticeable, but it does have a sheen. This one's matte, so it looks a little bit more natural. So yeah, I just like to go in and contour with that and lightly bronze up the rest of the face, kind of like I did before, but just very lightly because the shade is darker. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. Now, as you can see, I don't really apply a lot of extra product when I go everywhere else. I'm mostly focusing that color underneath my cheekbone to really make the cheekbone stand out. And I love contouring, like literally I love it. I feel like it makes such a difference with your makeup, even if you're doing a natural, very natural contour, because my contouring and highlighting, I feel like it's very natural. I'm not like, you know, Kim Kardashian, you know, making a whole new face and all that, but it's very natural, and it just makes my features stand out more, and it makes me look, you know, a little bit slimmer, you know what I mean? So yeah, and I also go down my nose, like I said. Now you can see, I don't know if you can see the difference. This side has the bronzer and contour done, and this side just has the bronzer. I should have just done like half so you can really see it, but it does make a difference going in with that darker color because it really carves out that cheekbone. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side. Then when you're done with that, you just want to go ahead and blend it all out. And you can use, I use this flat top brush. Usually when I apply my contour, I just use the side of it. I find that it works really well. Or you can go in with, this is the brush that I used before. This is the e.l.f. mineral powder brush, and then this one is the e.l.f. powder brush. So either one, I like to use this one for bronzing and this one for contouring because I couldn't use the side of it. But you can just go ahead and blend all of that out. But yeah, now that all of that is blended, after I do all of this, I usually go in with my blush and my highlight and all that. And I wasn't going to do that for the sake of this video, but I'll just go in and do my blush and my highlight because that's really quick. So for blush, I'm just going to be using my tried and true Milani Baked Blush in the shade Luminoso, my favorite blush. Oops. It's a very beautiful coral color. So, you know, perfect for summer and every other day of the year. So I just like to smile and apply that on my cheekbones, but also blend that back. And what I'm doing with this blush is I'm blending it into my bronzer and contour. Last step for my base is my highlights, and the highlight that I use is the Stila All Over Shimmer Duo in the shade Kitten. And I've mentioned this in a favorites video before. I like to use the color that is on the right, so this color. Show that close up. And I just like to take a fan brush and apply that basically everywhere. I'll show you how I apply it. Down the bridge of my nose, on my forehead, on my cupid's bow, and also on my brow bone. Now when it comes to highlight, you can use as much or as little as you want. I like to use the most amount on my cheekbones, and then everywhere else just like lightly to kind of even everything out. And yeah, that is everything that I do for my base. So that was my foundation, highlighting, contouring, blush, highlight, everything video, I guess. And usually after I do all those, I usually go ahead and do my eyes and everything, but I'm going to do that off camera because I'm not trying to be here all day. And I usually set that with a setting spray. The one that I'm going to use today is my e.l.f. Makeup Mist and Set, and I mentioned this in my favorites video. I also like to use, wait, hold on. I also like to use the Urban Decay All Nighter Makeup Setting Spray. This is the one that I usually use, but lately I've been using this one because since I ran out of the other one, I just figured I'm just going to use this all up before I go to the next one because I have the habit of using like one product at a time. So I'm just going to continue to use this one. And so far I'm liking it the way that it sets my makeup. So I'm just going to go ahead and spritz that all over my face, take a small little shower in it. And now I'm just gonna let that dry. So yeah, while that's drying, I'm just gonna go ahead and do the rest of my makeup. So that is the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you learned a little bit of something. I hope you learned something watching how I do my whole entire, basically the whole entire base of my face. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any suggestions for future videos, let me know. And if you have any other type of questions or you would like any tips or anything like that, just ask me and I'll be sure to answer. Also, make sure to subscribe if you're new to my channel, and make sure to follow me everywhere else on the internet because that'll be all linked down below. So, you know, you can follow me on Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, all of that. They'll be written down below. And as always, thank you for watching my video. And yeah, I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.